before rap. Before even the advent of microphones, there was a voice that rose from the heart of the Kasbah, a man who transformed ancient poetry into the music of the people. This is the story of Hadj M'Hamed El Anka, the undisputed father of Algerian Chaâbi. His legacy isn't just in the notes he played, but in the soul of a nation he helped to voice. Hadj M'Hamed El Anka was born on May 20th, 1907, right in the upper Casbah of Algiers. His family, of Kabyle origin, came from the regions of Azafoun and Ait Jenad. His birth name was Mohammed Idir Halo, or Muhend Yidir Halo in Kabyle. Growing up in a modest home, he left school at a young age to start working. But his true education wasn't found in a classroom. It was in the winding, narrow streets of the Kasbah. This ancient neighborhood was a living library of sounds and stories. The air was filled with Andalusian poetry, the sacred verses of qasidas, and the timeless melodies of popular chants. For the young Mohammed, this vibrant soundscape was his school, his inspiration, and his destiny. Every corner held a new rhythm, every conversation a line of poetry, shaping the artist he was born to be. It didn't take long for his natural talent to shine through. A family friend, Si Said Larbi, noticed the boy's keen ear and passion for music. He introduced him to the orchestra of a great master, Sheikh Mustafa Nador. This was a pivotal moment. By 1917, at the tender age of 10, young Mohammed was already a part of the ensemble, playing the tar, a type of frame drum, at local celebrations and weddings. He was a prodigy, learning the intricacies of the art form by observing and participating. When his mentor, Sheikh Nador, passed away, he didn't stop. He sought out another master, Sheikh Reghai Abderrahmane, to continue his apprenticeship. Under his guidance, he learned discipline, technique, and the deep traditions of the music. But while he was mastering the old ways, a revolutionary spark was igniting within him. He was preparing to change everything. At just 18 years old, El Anka did what no one had dared to do before. He took the complex classical forms of Andalusian music, the istikhbarates, the lengthy qasidas, and the traditional religious praises known as med, and began to reshape them. He simplified the structures, infused them with the language and rhythms of the street, and transformed them into a new kind of music, a style that was accessible and deeply relatable to the common people. The musical purists of the time were shocked. They even gave him the nickname Cheikh El Haras, which means the breaker, because they felt he was breaking the sacred rules of their art. But where the purists saw destruction, the people saw themselves. They embraced this new sound with open arms. In 1928, his career exploded. He recorded an incredible 27 records with the prestigious Columbia label and was instrumental in the creation of Radio Algiers, broadcasting his music across the nation. Chaâbi, which literally means popular, was officially born. El Anka's innovations didn't stop with the music itself. He also revolutionized the instruments used to play it. He felt the traditional mandole was too small, its voice too quiet for the powerful emotions he wanted to convey. So, in collaboration with the Italian luthier Jean Bellido, he designed a new instrument, the Algerian mandole. It was bigger, with a deeper, more resonant sound, capable of carrying the weight of his epic songs. This new mandole became the signature instrument of Chaâbi. But he didn't stop there. He introduced instruments from other cultures like the banjo, the piano, and the darbuka drum, weaving them seamlessly into his orchestra. He made Chaâbi modern, dynamic, and uniquely Algerian, all without ever losing its traditional soul. He was a true musical architect, building a new sound for a new era. Between the 1930s and the 1950s, El Anka became a cultural icon. His fame spread far beyond the Kasbah. He was invited to perform for King Mohammed V of Morocco, a testament to his status as a master musician. He embarked on extensive tours, bringing his music to audiences all across Algeria and even to the Algerian diaspora in France. He also took on the prestigious role of director for the Radio Algiers orchestra, shaping the sound of a generation. But perhaps his most enduring legacy was his commitment to teaching. In 1955, he became a professor at the Algiers Conservatory of Music. He wasn't just a star, he was a mentor, dedicated to passing on his knowledge. His students, like Amar Lachab, Rashid Suki, and Achen Said, would go on to become masters of Chaâbi in their own right, ensuring the music would live on. But Hadj M'Hamed El Anka was more than just a musician. He was a man deeply committed to his people and his country. During the 1930s and 40s, under French colonial rule, cultural and national identity were acts of resistance. El Anka lent his powerful voice to this cause. He was a passionate supporter of the USM Algiers football club, which was more than just a sports team. It was a powerful symbol of Algerian identity and nationalism. He composed a song for the club, L'Union USMA, which is considered the very first patriotic Algerian sports anthem. He would often hold concerts where all the revenues were donated to the club to keep it afloat during difficult times. For El Anka, art and resistance were inseparable. His music was a celebration of Algerian culture and a quiet, powerful call for freedom. In 1976 and 1977, El Anka gave his final concerts. Even in his old age, his passion hadn't faded. True to his roots, he played until the early hours of the morning, just as he had done at countless celebrations in the Kasbah decades before. It was a final, fitting tribute to a life dedicated to music. On November 23, 1978, the great phoenix of Algerian music passed away in his beloved city of Algiers. The man was gone, but his voice, his melodies, and his spirit were immortal. His music would never die. Hadj M'Hamed El Anka didn't just create a new genre of music. He gave a voice to the Algerian people. He took the poetry of the past and wove it into the soundtrack of the present, creating a legacy that continues to resonate today. As long as the Kasbah breathes, as long as there are stories to tell and hearts to be moved, his music will live on. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more.